Welcome to another episode of the Living World of Darkness, Kingdom of Apples. This scene is taking place right after the last one. Pretty much everybody's left the bar. People, filtering out individually or in pairs. And Galador, Dimitri, and Chloe are the only ones sitting at the bar. Galador, or this human seeming Arthur, is just sitting at the table, sipping at his whiskey still, kind of awkwardly, just kind of watching the other two.
So we're all still sitting at the table?
I assume so, because this is probably like immediately after.
Okay, because if there was that food fight, Chloe had moved away. But when everyone started filtering out, she's relatively unscathed, by the way, because she was carefully staying out of it. Because of reasons. This is not an appropriate thing for her to be doing at this point. Be careful. All about careful. But yeah, she's sitting there, and I'm going to say now she has like a nice tea. Because she doesn't want to be like... I mean, she's okay, but she doesn't want to get to the point where it's too weird.
Okay. So, Arthur just kind of looks back and forth between the other two. Well, that was quite interesting. He's noticeably not covered in food. He also stayed out of the food fight, but probably enjoyed watching it.
It was an experience, and Dimitri himself would probably have some flecks of food on him because he pretty much stayed close by the table. He wouldn't have participated in the entire thing, but he would have probably next to his side one of the drink serving trays that its entire front is covered with food, as he would have basically just reached over, grabbed it, and put it in front of him. Splatter screen and all that. But he would have in one hand a cup of coffee at this point and just slowly drinking it.
Well, at least everyone had fun, I suppose.
Fun's word for it.
Kind of nods. Dimitri, do you mind if I talk to you for a moment? He looks at Chloe kind of also, in a way, like he's almost asking if she's alright with them kind of just walking off for a moment.
She just kind of shrugs if that's the vibe she's getting.
Yeah,
she shrugs and just kind of sits there with her iced tea.
Dimitri just kind of look over at Galador and just kind of motion for either go, stay type of thing. Just
he gets up, walks over to him.
How far away do they go? Is it possible for me to listen in?
Probably, unless say they, I don't know, because we're in a public bar, they'd probably go to like the other end. If you have like heightened senses or something, you can probably listen in.
I don't, but yeah, I passed anyways, I'm okay.
So Galador just kind of leads Dimitri to the other end of the bar, where nobody's sitting, and just kind of waves the bartender off with a look that tells the man if he listens in, it's going to be in some trouble. And if you want, I'll go roll charisma intimidation for that. And sits down, motions for Dimitri to sit next, to sit down as well.
Dimitri sits down next to him with his cup of coffee still held actually more noticeably tightly in one hand now.
He doesn't notice, or he doesn't appear to notice, he just nods. How are you and Lelena doing after the adventure we had the other night?
Alright. She is unscathed, not the best word, not hurt. permanently, I suppose. Not even really that hurt. Stray works wonders sometimes.
Takes a deep breath, nods. Right, and yourself?
Not a scratch.
Nods.
Yourself?
I'm uninjured as well. I have a favor to ask you.
Ask away.
He reaches in his pocket and he pulls out a letter. It's both Grey World. Well, it's chimeric. It has a chimerical representation. It's just a little bit fancier writing, and parchment looks a little fancier. And he hands it, or he holds his hand out. Could you deliver this to Cass, or Changeling?
Dimitri would kind of reach over and kind of pluck the letter out of his hand. Not really in a kind of full grab, but just kind of pick it up with a couple of fingers and just kind of look at it and just... Sure. And as long as you're not asking me to turn myself in for a crime I didn't commit, he says with a kind of grin on his face, but...
Galador nods gravely. If you wish, you have my permission to read it if you are suspicious.
You haven't done anything to make me distrust you that much.
You notice his actually roll a perception empathy at that.
Gotcha. Perception empathy.
Watches all this fail, all the perception empathies, and make this scene more awkward.
She's totally watching, but from
if you want to say that she's just close enough to be able to listen in, like, that way you can also participate. Like, that's the thing.
I mean, I could try. I mean, because if she's close enough, she would try, but with try not being not obvious about it.
Yeah.
Which would give her 2 successes, and if you guys we'll just say if you're speaking in a normal tone of voice, then
yeah.
If you start getting low tones or anything, then I'll try again and go for higher diff or something.
Okie dokie. Yeah. So Dimitri, when he said that, Galador's face kind of noticeably just darkens. His whole countenance darkens at that a little. He nods curtly. If you are unable to deliver the letter, could you please see that Milena delivers it?
Of course.
Thank you. And if possible, could you arrange a meeting? I do not wish to inconvenience her, but I'd like to speak with her about some things.
Consider that favor too, but yeah, I can.
He inclines his head, and then I am in your debt. He sighs, takes a swig from his whiskey, stands up, starts heading back over. But before he heads back, as he passes him, he just stops and just looks at Dimitri and just says in a little bit lower voice, "I'm glad you are not injured." It gives him a kind of a polite smile and then heads back to the table where Chloe is.
You said lower voice. I didn't hear a thing. Totally didn't hear it.
Okie dokie.
All right.
Dimitri's going to actually wave down the bartender and start getting another glass of coffee, so... Before making his way over there with a nearly now full cup of coffee.
So Arthur sits at the table with Chloe. He just... Your accent, it's quite unique.
Not where I come from.
He nods, and by the way, he always forget to mention this, but he does have a Scottish accent. His human seeming. Just nods. Where I come from, it's unique.
Probably. That makes sense. I'm from Kentucky.
Kentucky. Interesting place, I'm sure. What's it like there?
A lot of mountains, a lot of hill folk, a lot of beautiful backwoods areas.
He kind of chuckles low. It sounds very familiar.
You've been there before?
No, but it sounds very similar to where I grew up. My village was much the same.
I love it there. I love it in Kentucky. I'd never left there, like the whole time I was growing up. And I thought it would be good for me and my sisters. We all came together. We decided to see what we could see here. Something different to see and do. Even if we go back, at least we'll know that why we're there.
That is an admirable goal.
As I said, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Though that really should be, if you can survive here, you can survive anywhere.
Seems to be true. There's a lot of violence here.
I forgot to make a roll earlier. That was a perception empathy I was supposed to do on Dimitri after Lake Galador walked by and said he was happy that he wasn't injured. I just completely spaced it out.
His face would have been neutral and just kind of stony as he was finding the bottom of his coffee cup. Very interesting.
Okay. Sorry, I just remembered I didn't do that.
That's all right.
I'll be honest, the first, I don't know, month or 2 months I was here, I hated it.
Let me guess. No sights, no smells, no sounds at home. You're in a big, giant box of metal and concrete. And then suddenly, there's a car, and you realize you're in the middle of the street.
Something like that. I'm used to being in a place where I can go in just about any direction. And all I'm going to find are trees or brooks or, something wild. And here, if I want something wild, I can go to one of the thousands of bars in this city. I'm more comfortable where I can breathe and I can look up and see the moon every night, But I'm getting used to it. I didn't want to leave the apartment for the first while.
Well, that part's all about where you're stationed in what neighborhood. But, getting used to the city's all well and good, but...
Okay, that was for what I said a minute ago. That was my manipulation subterfuge.
Yeah, my dice pulling don't even go that high.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah.
Not even gonna try.
Because specialty deceitful.
Yeah, these boys believe what you're saying completely.
She was mostly telling the truth. She just changed one tiny detail.
Hey, the supernatural lie detector doesn't detect tiny details.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. You would have to. I mean, I'm not saying you can't do it, but
No,
it
doesn't
seem to fit that situation.
It would be rude. There's no reason to do it.
Yeah. Like I said, it was only one tiny detail she switched there.
Well, no, exactly, and it doesn't detect details. It detects lies and truths. Absolute.
But that one detail makes it a lie, though.
Ah, true.
Out of character, she said that for the first little while there, she didn't leave the apartment. In reality, what she didn't leave was the park, but she wasn't going to mention that she hangs out in Central Park. There was an apartment. She just didn't go home. Shift to Lupus, sleep right there on the ground. It's not that hard. But yeah, this place is intimidating, but it is kind of nice being able to find tacos any time of the night.
Here. Tacos. Or shawarma. That's good too.
Shawarma? What's that?
Thing that Adrian told me about just a few weeks ago.
What is it?
This kind of, how do I put it?
Why don't we just go find some and experience it?
Well, I kind of want to know what it is before I try it.
Think of it like fast food, but I think he said it was like Turkish, I think. Something like that.
She's going to start imagining spellings for it and pull out her phone and see what she can find out. Oh, I think it is a Levantine Arab meat preparation. I found Wikipedia. Apparently it has lamb, chicken, turkey, beef, veal, and buffalo meat, or mixed meats are placed on a spit and may be grilled for as long as a day. Wow, that is a long time to cook some meat.
I vote shawarma.
That does sound quite delicious.
Put it on his cup. Sorry.
It's usually served on a plate with accompaniments, or it could be served as a sandwich or a wrap. It's usually eaten with tabbouleh, fattoush, taboon bread, tomato, and cucumber. I'd try it.
Shawarma?
Sure, I'd try it.
All right, now let's head out before the bartender decides we have to pay for this mess because everyone else left before us. Let's go.
That's not, no. She will, she'll pay for not only the drinks that she's had and whatever that she hasn't paid for yet, she will also leave a pretty decent tip because even though she wasn't involved in the mess. She's not about bad karma.
Arthur will leave a decent tip. It's not a huge tip. It's bigger than the normal tip. He'll pay for his stuff before they leave.
They got to clean up this stuff. At least it was food we paid for.
Mm-hmm.
But the mess in itself, it's just bad karma not to leave a decent tip in this situation. So that's her feel on it. And for the record, she is actually looking to see what other people do. She's curious.
Dimitri's going to kind of look at the tip, look at the table, look at the door, and just kind of think back on what he just said and just kind of reach out in his wallet, pull out his last $20, kind of put it on the table, just look around, pick up some napkins, and kind of spool the bigger things into little piles. And just, all right, fine.
Chloe looks approving at this, actually. Imagine if this was you who had to work this. You and your little waiter thing you had going on earlier?
Yeah, I would probably find the people who did this and, well, use this table to wipe their faces. But anyway.
You have a duty. That duty would be to clean. There's no sense in getting angry over it. Maybe if you saw the people again, you'd say something, but no sense in getting angry over
Well, that's why I'm hoping if we leave a nice tip, they won't be pissed off as much anyway.
True. Unless we want to go start getting the hot rags from behind the bar.
And she kind of yeah, she'll collect up her her tote bag that she usually has with her. And look at the door, I guess.
Dimitri kind of nods at both of them, walks over to the door, and just opens it, obviously waiting for them to go through first, and just Schwarma.
Galador or Arthur lets Chloe go through first before going through.
She shrugs. She's not used to this kind of etiquette stuff, but she's not going to complain.
I haven't thought of that now, so I have to actually act it out.
No, you don't have to act. No, just because you have it doesn't mean you have to act that way.
It just means you know about it.
It means now you have the option to learn to know a little bit. For the record, she also has etiquette, just at one.
Etiquette 1, it's a beautiful place.
It makes you feel so much better, doesn't it?
Oh, yes. Anyway.
But yeah, she walks outside. I don't know if either of you expected it, for it being like late night, and her being like a small girl. She doesn't look at all nervous.
I mean, she also has
Just
a cop
mentioning it because
and a really buff dude with her, so like they're probably not going to care because traveling in packs is safer anyways.
I'm just saying, she walked out there by herself, though. She just kind of walked through the door and just kind of waited there.
Okay.
And that's all I meant.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Dimitri would kind of nod with an approving just little thing, just, all right. Pull out his phone, and this way, just start walking a direction, just.
Do you know where this place is, or do we need to like Google it?
You could probably see his phone, and on his phone is a Google Maps little arrow thing that he's just following very intently.
Chloe, at this point, will pull out her phone and turn on her Pokemon Go. If we're going to be wandering around, we might as well catch Pokemon.
And at this moment, Lytton decides to make itself known and jump on Galador's shoulder.
Let me roll perception alertness to see if I noticed your reaction, because I wouldn't see the Lytton.
Mm-hmm.
2. Yeah, that's probably enough to notice that you kind of sort of sink your one shoulder down as the Lytton jumps on there.
Yeah, and he seems to give like a space over his shoulder, a small smile.
Well, she gives him a very strange look.
I should roll to see if he even notices. Oh yeah, he notices. He just looks at her, kind of confused.
You're saying that you're trying to look confused?
Yeah, he doesn't quite get why he got the weird look, but he ain't concerned about it.
Okay. He just gives him this weird look and keeps going.
And yeah, and it's just kind of more for reference than anything. Kavita is following Dimitri, just not, underfoot and not really towards Galador, just kind of out and off to the side. Kind of like a dog out for a walk, just kind of peering at things, sniffing at things, just moving along type of thing. What? So, any idea what you guys are going to order when we get there? Other than, normal shawarma? Shawarma. Fun word.
Such a weird name. Such a weird name.
I love it. It's a fun name. Shawarma.
if one is unfamiliar with the food that one is eating, I would say start simple.
The KISS principle.
She kind of shrugs. She's like, well, I actually have a lot of Greek heritage. It sounds like it's kind of related into that, so hopefully I'll be good with it.
Schwarma and gyros. Gyros? Gyro?
I think it's hero or something like that. I don't know. I don't know the language. I hope to learn it sometime.
Still, I bow to your better judgment on that one. Here we are.
Is this some sort of restaurant?
It's probably like one of those hole-in-the-wall places that's open incredibly late, but is still open. You know, kind of half diner, not as big as, like slightly bigger than just a large room.
Good enough. Yeah, she'll walk right in. And she's fully prepared to see if the waitress pretty much just stays away. Or you kind of has to be forced to come over. In fact, just to be safe, she's going to choose a seat that's like right next to a wall so that one of you guys can be in between.
Alright.
That may seem kind of odd that she would choose that, but she's been in this situation before. If there's somebody between, it's a little easier. God damn, that rage 4.
I mean, Dimitri would more than happily plop down into a seat and just kind of motion for Galador to sit and just kind of wave the waitress down. Just kind of order 3 basic shawarmas.
Sure.
Shawarma, that's really fun to say.
Shawarma. It looks like it's actually spelled shawarma. SHAWARAMA or something.
Shawarma.
Yeah. It looks like a lot of times it comes in pitas and stuff.
Oh. From a bar to a shawarma joint.
Yeah.
It's
good order.
Interesting night.
There's only so much you can do in a bar, really.
True.
Apparently, we can eat a whole lot of hamburgers, though.
I wasn't expecting that many, but still. The lady still speaks the truth.
Adrian seems to be a hungry fellow.
Yes, he does. What'd you say, Galador?
He's not the most interesting I've met, but he has his quirks.
Just for the record, she just heard Arthur being referred to by another name.
See, this is what happens when nobody tells me their names. Nobody has told me their names, just by the way. He only knows you by your names.
It's not that big a deal. It's just confirming her belief. She thought Dimitri is probably one of Malgrim's people. Now she it just kind of confirms it, and probably Arthur is too.
He's actually because I didn't even catch it. Like he was giving Dimitri the tiniest bit of a glare as he said that.
You can see
Out of
Dimitri.
character, I didn't even catch it.
You can see Dimitri mentally kicks himself in the ass. Just motherfucker. Anyway, I just noticed something. This is the first time we've met without Malgrim. He looks over to Chloe. Just
Yeah, it seems so. I've met him a few times here and there, but yeah. First time we met was because he was dating a friend of mine.
Oh.
oh,
What friend might this be?
Her name was Wren,
Was.
and she's sorely missed.
You see, Galador actually, or Arthur actually stops what he was doing. He was probably fidgeting, so he just stops, sets it down, leans back for a moment, blinks, and then just nods very quietly. His demeanor instantly sobered up from what little playfulness there was in it.
She notices this. Are you going to make me roll a P&E to get the idea that he might have known her?
No, because it was very obvious in the way he was acting.
Okay. Good, because I can do that. I prefer not to with my, 4 dice.
Yeah.
And it seems inappropriate at the moment. So she just kind of blinks. And she's like, I take it you knew her?
I did not know her well, but I knew her for a time.
We're talking Wren Brennan?
Yes. She was a good friend in the short time that I knew her.
She was an excellent friend. And then I didn't know you knew her. I apologize for telling you that way.
He kind of just waves his hand. It is better that I knew at all.
I just forget that people don't. It was a while ago when I first met Malgrim. Wren and I had just come into town, and Wren and I, and can't even remember who else. But, we went to this little restaurant thing, and Malcolm came in, and it's also the same time I met Adrian, or what, Rancor? I don't know whichever name I'm supposed to call him, but he says Adrian, so I suppose I'll go with that. Can I be kind of obvious just for a second?
Please, it'll help me forget how obvious I was.
When I asked Malgrim, and she looks to Dimitri because evidently Arthur doesn't speak at the moment, whether you were one of his, he wouldn't answer. But to be fair, I wouldn't answer about my friends either. So I couldn't blame him. Can I ask you?
You may. Go right ahead.
Are you one of his people?
Specifically, just kind of looks around the room. Just no. Objectively, and overarchingly, umbrella-ly, yes, you could say.
She nods. She doesn't seem to be judging. She's just more curious.
It's a world, right? It's a world.
And then she'll look over to Arthur. And are you? And I realize if you can't...
Odd.
Oh, there you go. Go ahead. Okay. It's okay. I get you. I'm pretty good at keeping secrets usually. I'm fairly... I I seem to end up being around you people without even trying.
That's probably a talent many in this city possess, whether they know it or not. I guess you're just one of the few lucky ones who knows.
Well, some of my friends and they know some things about you people, but I don't mean to be rude and say you people all the time. I'm sorry. They know some things, but not a lot.
Everything flattering, I hope. I mean, we do try to present our best face most of the time.
I don't think it's quite like that. It's more when someone knows something, they tell other people they know. Not so much because it's a secret, but I mean, obviously, I'm assuming it probably is with you. But I have my own secrets, so I don't judge that. It's just, I think everybody has secrets.
Hey, that's what keeps life interesting, right? If you knew everything about one person, or of everybody, then there'd be nothing to discover, nothing to enjoy. What's the word I'm looking for? No, for lack of a better term, enjoy wondering about, you know? It's the whole air of mystique.
Oh, so I have an air of mystique?
Yeah, Dimitri obviously looks kind of flustered. I didn't mean.
No, I'm just asking the question. I'm not trying to be weird about it.
I mean, I would say everybody does at some point until you know 100% about their entire life from birth to death, or until that very precise moment in time, which doesn't always include death. I mean, it could. But never mind. Sorry, I'm rambling. But I digress.
It's kind of funny.
I digress. I mean, without little puzzles and mazes, life just gets dull drumish, boring, gray.
Well, sometimes it has to be that way because there are things you have to do, things you're expected to do, and you just have to do them because you have duties.
Dimitri would kind of look at Galador and just kind of nod. She still speaks truth.
He gives a very sad look towards Dimitri in response, just kind of mournful.
Can I ask something of you? She kind of looks at Arthur.
He nods.
And I know, out of character, I apologize. This is a little awkward because you can't talk very loudly. So if you need to write it out or something, I can read it out loud for you or something. I don't know.
Okay.
But she'll just kind of meet his eyes. And just, you knew Wren. Do you have any stories that you could share with me about her? About how you knew her? That's how I like to remember people, by their stories. Says he thinks for a moment on the side. I'm just saying it out loud so it's in the scene. We can probably continue while he's thinking or writing, I suppose. I'm kind of a storyteller in some ways, I guess you could say.
Dimitri just kind of makes some motion with his hand. That's nothing to worry about. I mean, remembering people through stories is probably the best way to do it, honestly, as long as they're happy. Well, the sad has to be in there, too. I mean, but to objectively condense somebody's life into a few paragraphs would be an injustice, I'd say.
I wouldn't dare do such a thing. I just think that the more stories I get, the more complete the picture is.
Oh. More power to you. Don't open up a newspaper and flip past the comic page.
Okay, on the side he says, only that I once met her and trained her for a short time. She was an attentive student and brought me back from a darker memory I hold by the few hours I spent teaching her, is what he says. And we will listen to that, kind of nod and just be like, that sounds like her. She was very friendly and very perceptive, I think, in many ways. She was the first person who welcomed me into the city. I taught her how to crochet. It was a rather funny day. So yeah, most of my stories of her have to do with watching her make knots out of yarn.
Dimitri would kind of look over to Galador and just well, over some shawarma. Stories of good old days. Good people. Good food and good people.
I don't know what she has to drink in front of her. Probably water at this point. And she'll just kind of hold up her glass of water in sort of a toast kind of thing. To Wren. Not that you knew her, Dimitri, but, you know. Well, evidently two of us did. And I wish I had gotten to meet her. She was worth knowing.
Galador nods and probably drinking some sort of small soda. This is glass as well.
Dimitri would hold up his own glass, which is probably filled with electric green Mountain Dew. Just, I'm sorry as well. I'm sure many an opportunity was missed.
She was one of the most kind-hearted people I've ever met. There was nobody that she couldn't charm with a sandwich.
And the world has lost one of its greats.
Yeah.
Cheers.
And, you know, clink glasses, clink, clink, and drink her water. You know what's funny? I never even, drank till I came to this city.
That's another effect I've noticed this city has on people. Isn't that right, Galador? I mean, God damn it!
You might as well give up.
I will get this one day. I will get this one day. Just kind of points at Galador's Arthur. Arthur kind of knocks on his head. Arthur, okay. Arthur. Okay. Isn't that right?
Do you have another name besides Dimitri? As she kind of looks at Dimitri. You all seem to have multiple names.
I mean, names are names. They come and go. You only ever keep, well, the name your mother gives you. Well, even then you can change it legally, but takes drink.
Oh, I'm not questioning whether you have more than one name or why you might have that. I'm just asking if you have another one.
Multiple names are very common.
Is that a yes or a no? Are you evading me? Because I'm thinking it's evading. Oh, for Pete's sake. Everyone, all these other people seem to have like at least two. To ask if you have another one is not that big of a deal, right?
True, true.
I didn't ask what it was.
Then yes, I do.
She just kind of looks at him, just like shaking her head, like, that was really hard.
Sorry.
You're right. A lot of us have multiple names. It happens. You should probably practice getting your name straight, though.
Maybe we should start asking people their names before we go out in public. He says, just kind of looking at Arthur at this point. Just,
I'm not going to roll anything here. She has this look on her face, and she's like sort of nodding as if nodding to herself. Looks like, yeah, I get that feeling.
He just takes a sip from his soda completely. He's not really ignoring, more like just not even bothering to acknowledge the tiniest bit of, I don't want to say shade, but I don't know what it sounds like.
Hope it's not shade. Nobody's thrown any shade that I know of here.
oh, no shade, just an act of someone who's like, I fucked up really, really bad, and
She's gonna just kind of touch Dimitri's hand just for a second, then pull back, and just be like, "I've done something similar. I'm not going into details, but I've done something similar, so don't feel too bad."
We are all young once, or inexperienced once. Everyone makes mistakes.
True. Gotta enjoy it while it lasts, right? Because at some point, you're the revered old person that everyone looks up to, and if you fuck up, holy God.
It's better than that. Even that's better than the other option. What if you don't make it to be old?
That is an option that we understand just as fully as any other.
So I'm gonna roll to see how well she likes the shawarma.
Yes.
Because of
let's do
her
this.
heritage, I'm going to add like +2 to whatever she rolls, because of her heritage. Oh, wrong. Holy crap!
What was that combination?
I have no idea where those came from. That's really weird.
No.
Again, still a 1. She didn't like it very much.
Oh,
So
damn.
even adding 2, it's only a 3. So she's kind of looking at, she's eating it. She's going to continue eating it, but you can tell she doesn't like it that much. She's like, maybe this isn't really very good shawarma. Chew, chew, chew.
Perhaps not, but the flavor is quite exquisite. I think I may have to return here sometime.
Adrian did tell me about this place near a bookstore down a few blocks. He said it was much better. Maybe we have to try there. Or maybe it's Adrian's appetite talking.
Maybe not tonight. Maybe another night.
Oh, no, of course.
I mean,
It's
we've had
good.
burgers and shawarma now. I think I'm good for the evening.
The
Yes,
evening.
I know. No, I will be personally doing some training to work this off.
I don't think I need to worry about that part so much. Kind of
Lucky you.
train a lot. Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, God.
I'm a runner. I run every day anyways. Long distance running.
Yeah, I'm going to probably hate the gym after the next few days to work this off.
Just don't skip meals. Just, be smarter with them.
Maybe next time Adrian offers food, go sparingly.
She looks at him and she's like, you do realize that you need more food than most of us do?
Well, yes, but still, Schwarma, plus starts counting on his fingers, a unknown number of burgers ranging anywhere from 2 to 5 is still a lot of food.
There are many ways to exercise that do not involve training.
So, how many did Adrian eat?
I lost count. You remember? Just kind of looks over at Arthur.
I had more important things to watch than someone's poor eating habits.
I'm going to go with a number in the ballpark of a lot.
She kind of blinks just at Arthur's response to that. Kind of wasn't quite expecting that response.
He notices. He kind of just looks at her. His type of people are not known for having the best table manners.
His type of people.
He shrugs. Yes, his type.
You are
Duelers.
So I don't know how I keep passing all these wits rolls. So there are different types of people?
There always are.
It's still a fair question.
Never meet the same person twice.
And
Okay.
Well then, that's interesting way. Interesting conversation. Interesting people.
Yeah. I think it is very interesting, actually.
such things are not easily shared. The specifics, at least. I'm sure you are the same way with your people. So I can assume that you would forgive us for not giving you all the specifics.
She just nods. Doesn't really say anything.
Generalities are a secret keeper's best friend. I have to say, one big improvement of tonight: no karaoke. That was a bad idea, born of alcohol and Mogram.
It's deadly.
You don't want to know.
It was bad, 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 bad.
I chose not to. I decided to make sure that Jack stayed on her chair.
Dimitri just kind of leans in closer to Arthur and just, she made the right choice. Let's just leave it at that.
He just gives a slow nod.
Yeah. Jack made me dress up. It was not pretty.
Well, I mean, it couldn't have, it didn't seem pleasant. Anyway, this is very good soda.
she's going to totally peony him at this point. She remembers the dress she was wearing.
That's my one success on perception empathy on him.
Well, that is way more than I got, so by all means. Are you attempting to subterfuge anything over there, Dimitri?
He has no subterfuge.
You can do it on straight manipulation though.
Oh, okay. Let's see if you can actually.
You can actually do it with that one. Yeah, you can with that one. You can. It's only knowledge is that you don't get a chance.
I think it's a higher diff, but yeah, you got it.
I don't. So you matched him, and I failed. So whatever secrets you have, whatever you want to give off, you can give off.
Dimitri looks like his normal, kind of rambly, slightly awkward self.
She doesn't notice shit. So she just kind of looks to Arthur and she's like, "Yeah, my friend Jack decided that me and Ophelia both had to get all dressed up to go to this fancy place, and I don't really own much in the way of that kind of stuff, so I had to go bumming in my sister's closets, and yeah, it was a little much."
I understand. I am not one for high society dress, but it is occasionally required.
It was more clubbing than high society, I guess you could say. But at least the top of my dress stayed up, unlike Pink, who looked like my tongue just got all weird. Unlike Jack, who got her whose dress looked like it was about to fall down every second.
That does sound unfortunate.
It actually was kind of a joke. She kind of would have looked at Dimitri on that one because Dimitri remembers the dress and the picture, I am sure.
Dimitri kind of pinches the bridge of his nose, just, yeah.
Don't know what was up with that dress.
That was something. Not sure what to call it, but something fits. Just a big, broad something. Oh, dude, no. You don't even need to roll. It literally is. He's just saying that was he's obviously more thinking back on it, incredibly just like that was something. Not sure what. It's not like a ooh something, but no, it's more of a that was a something. I'm not sure what to call that. That is a something.
Oh my god, I'm on the Changeling page and I can see it because it's the screen cap for that scene. Oh my god, I agree. That's
exactly. Now you see why Dimitri's just, that was a something.
But he just kind of shrugs because he has no idea what you guys are talking about, unlike me. He's just, I suppose.
Let's just say it's a dress that one of my boss's friends, he kind of tilts his head a little bit, would have worn at one of their events. Let's put it that way.
He's frowning. Did I just roll wits or something to understand what the hell like you're insinuating? Because out of character, I don't understand.
Oh, he's saying it's one of something Laney's house members would have worn to one of their parties.
Okay.
Did you actually say a house member?
No, he said. He phrased it differently.
No, like House Fiona, blah blah blah.
No, I know what you meant, but did you say house? The word house.
No. It was one of my boss's friends. Tilt.
There you go. Okay. Just wondering, because if she would have heard the word house, that would have been another curiosity roll.
Nope. Just one of my boss's friends.
He just kind of gives an kind of look, nods. I will restrain from making a comment on that.
Probably for the best.
I don't know. That was just an interesting night. I felt like a real gem and a treasure, though, by the end of it.
Eyes narrow at Dimitri.
Looks like this all out of character.
Are you proud of me that I said that straight face?
Looks like it's hard.
It was a challenge just for me to do that.
Oh, that was all out of character anyway, but...
Oh, that was sad. You were getting hella sad. I thought that was in character.
Oh, no, that was all...
I think Gem and Treasure might have been actually said in character at least once, though.
I think it was said like twice. Anyway. But yeah, it was just we just kind of nodded. Yeah. I have to say, though, if I am out in public and there's a karaoke somewhere and somebody tells me, hey, go over and do it, and one of you two are around, slap me before I do anything by picking up a mic.
I will not slap you, but I will keep you from it.
No. Not keep. Slap. Like just full open palm. Just
unnecessary.
You don't want me to hit you.
You should kind of turn to Chloe. Just trust me. Anything would be better than singing again.
No. You did fine.
I actually have to make a manipulation subterfuge roll.
You did. You actually did just fine.
Oh, I got one success.
Wow, does this mean my 4 dice have a chance of seeing through?
What have you done?
Yeah, what were you lying about or deceiving about?
Well.
Are you typing it?
Oh no, I was not sure if you were actually going to roll. Like.
Well, I was wondering what you did. I don't know if it's something that she would suspect.
It's for his facial expression.
Oh, okay.
He's trying to keep his face blank and not blush.
To not blush, huh? See, I'm just doing bad.
What did he say?
Don't know,
my
but
God.
I failed. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he escapes. Unless Dimitri wants to try and notice, but.
To keep the awkwardness level now to the minimum, no.
Okay, don't want to make it even more awkward.
So basically you can't really control blushing usually.
So he's probably like hiding behind his food or something, kind of not really obtrusively, just kind of quietly.
Okay, so, but this was in response to what?
The comment about him singing and him doing wonderful, and he's wondering like, well, how is he when he's singing?
You don't need to go into that because we didn't pass
Yeah.
anything. I just wondered what you. So basically, what happened was I make this comment and you start eating your food rather vigorously, but we don't suspect
Pretty much.
anything because we didn't pass our rolls.
Yep.
Okay, that's all I was checking to get this. Wanted to get the train of what was happening here. No, so she's just like, oh, you did fine. There's nothing wrong. So, I mean, seriously, there's nothing wrong with a little singing.
I suppose. Still doesn't mean I have to like it, though.
Well, you shouldn't have done it in the first place if you didn't like it. It was a night out you were trying to relax and stuff.
But again, alcohol and Magram, those two have a way of speaking, telling one to do things very awkwardly.
Really?
Like singing.
He's never actually tried to give me alcohol before. Although I do find that almost anything with him gets kind of awkward.
Just a little bit. And if he ever offers you to buy you shots, don't. Take it from somebody who knows. Just don't.
I imagine at this point there's a very awkward look between the two of them, just like, and then Arthur just kind of nods along with it.
Still passing that wits roll. Of all the rolls, I keep botching and failing, but damn if I ever have a botched curiosity roll. Yeah, it's in Werewolf. It's wits that you have to roll, and Changeling you can use willpower. Yeah.
Lucky you.
Well, she started out with 2 wits, so I actually bought that up like the very first chance I could.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of bad.
Yeah. No.
No, the other night when in that one scene, do you remember? It was Chloe, Ophelia, and Pig and Jack. All of us were rolling curiosity all at the same time. Yeah, we're just like, here you go.
Yeah. He is a interesting personality.
Makes mental note to pay off any slua that may be lurking nearby to never tell Magram about this conversation.
I mean, he's an interesting guy. What can I say?
Don't get me wrong, he and I have made our peace, but we've definitely had our moments where I just wanted to murder him. Okay, one moment where I wanted to just murder him.
If you do not have at least one moment where you want to murder someone, how do you know you are truly friends with them? Or at least ambivalent towards them?
I wouldn't say we were friends. We were just kind of at peace.
True.
Yeah. From what I've gathered, that's the way most people have met Magram. Is wanting to kill him.
Well, let's just say there wasn't even any alcohol involved at the time of his screw up, so he can't even blame that.
I will not speak ill of him, but he is a very interesting person. He sees the world quite differently than most others.
Of course, I mean, no offense by what I'm saying, but yeah.
If you are not sure if you mean offense, then sometimes it is better just not to speak at all.
Well, true. But it never hurts to say that you don't mean offense. People can always read something differently than it is said. It's always good to cover bases, you know?
He just gives a slow nod.
Just because you don't mean offense, too, doesn't mean you're not going to offend.
This is also true.
Awkwardly goes back to eating his shawarma.
Schwarma.
Offers him some of hers, since she didn't like it all that much.
He'll be a bit hesitant, but if she's offering, he'll take some. She doesn't seem to actually be enjoying it all that much.
Yeah, 3 she was kind of pushing her way through because she bought it, but like honestly, she's not all that into it.
I mean, he got an 8. He ain't complaining.
Nah, he's pretty happy at this point.
He's found his new Monday night joint.
I mean, not saying anything, but Stern Bagan may be making an appearance here to learn how to make shawarma.
Really? So should I have Lainey send a certain other squire over to do it? Wait, that's out of character. That doesn't make sense. She does. Lainey does know an amazing taco place.
But why?
Honestly, she would just have like Rancor do it. Rancor's so much better at cooking than any of us are, and he enjoys it because I mean, really, someone who likes eating, why would they not be the best cook?
Mm.
Honestly, though.
He's always coming by and making food. She just makes sure that she has a lot of food around.
20 hamburgers worth of food, precisely.
Well, you know, it is what it is.
Bottomless pits that are a red cap stomach. Anyway.
Not to mention a rather large troll.
Hey. True, but hey.
Lady is 5'3" and actually eats rather daintily, unless she's working out.
No, but yeah.
Arthur is just kind of like eating, kind of watching the two of them at this point. He's probably watching Dimitri just a little bit more than Lainey, but still kind of keeping his rather equally humble with Chloe. Derp.
I'm the only one. Yay!
He looks at Dimitri, then looks through time and space to where Lainey is probably sleeping like a creeper.
You think she's sleeping?
Wow.
You really want to know what she's doing? Malgrim's not here. He's probably with her.
I have no words. I was not expecting that.
Creeper.
Wow, buying up that arts I see then, man.
Eyes start steaming, then burning.
He's just flipping out. Oh my god, why did I do this?
Dimitri reaches into a pocket wrench and pulls out the mind bleach and slides it over to him.
Oh gosh.
Mind bleach is really a thing.
I can believe it.
It needs to be a thing. Like, someone needs to alchemy it in Changeling.
I mean,
a concentrated dose of mists. Here you go, man.
Have an alchemist, that is a thing.
Or, actually, you could do something like Chicanery. Chicanery 3. You could at least brain bleach yourself for a week or something.
But then it comes roaring back.
It would, but at least you'd get a week.
A week of freedom from the horror.
And then, maybe you can leave yourself a note to find yourself a shrink during that week.
Trust me, the banality you will gain is worth it. Do it.
It gives you a week to find the good shrink, and then
to find the one changeling shrink in existence.
Are you sure you want that?
No. We're very not sure.
So he's just munching away, just watching, looking back and forth between the two of them.
So she's kind of gonna be like, I should probably get going. It's definitely getting a bit weird, and I do have to train in the morning. But
Hey,
Do you guys really want to go find that shawarma place?
We can always arrange to meet here again some other day and then go find it. Although I suppose it's a little bit rude meeting at their place to find another shawarma place.
I was just. She'll just grab a napkin, kind of rip it in half, write down her number on the 2 pieces, and hand it to both of them, and just be like, "If you guys want to make the plans, then let me know."
Nod, pocket it.
Onwards to future shawarma adventures.
She'll hold up her mostly empty cup of water. It's sort of a toasty thing, kind of like, because that's kind of what it sounded like. And then she'll take one last, like, sort of slurp of that little bit of water at the bottom. And I guess I'll see you later then.
And we'll see you later.
Have a good one.
And she will head towards the door, unless you want to do something else before that.
I was just gonna say, if you wanted to, Galador is probably paying and ready to leave too. That way we can kind of end the scene with them leaving.
Yeah.
But before, I don't know if you want to roll like a perception of alertness in us, but before they leave, Galador does kind of just put a hand on Dimitri's shoulder and just kind of says a quick blessing in Gaelic. And he's going to ask Dimitri's permission first, obviously with the meaning of, are you all right with me casting an art on you? She's not plainly speaking that.
Dimitri pretty much say yes, but with the indication of, if it's the wrong art, I'm going to smash you.
Oh yeah, he just puts an arm on your shoulder. This is a quick blessing for a bunk, and that is, it's I think it's diff starts at diff 5, so it's 4 extra health levels you got.
Ooh.
Oaken Shield.
Yes. That's what he's going to do to Lainey when he finds her, because he worries.
Dimitri, what you would need to do is, in your blue book, put in there, start a post, and you could just change it, what he just gave you, just put the date on it that you got it, and it's good for a week. It will go away in a week.
Gotcha.
Unless you use it up in between, then it goes away earlier. But just put the date that it started, and then you can keep track from there. And if he ever gives you another one, or if someone else does, then you can just edit that post. You can keep reusing. Just make sure you put it in there and date it. We'll assume that happened after Chloe left.
Okay. And then...
Because that's a little awkward if she saw you walk up and clap a hand on his shoulder and start talking Gaelic.
Yeah, that'd be kind of weird. But after that, he'll just kind of wish him a good night and head off on his merry way.
All right.
Yeah. Anything you guys want to do before I hit the end button?
Nope. Not really.
All right. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. Right, a few watchers. Stay tuned for more Schwarma and Awkward Talking in the Kingdom of Apples.